Adventures with Charlie, a boy and his dog's hilarious journey. Toby was a typical 10-year-old boy, full of energy and curiosity, with a mop of messy brown hair and a grin that could melt the coldest heart. Living in a small town nestled between rolling hills and vast forests, Toby's world was one of endless possibilities and, more importantly, endless fun. But the one thing that made Toby's life extraordinary was his best friend and partner in crime, a scruffy, golden-furred dog named Charlie. Charlie wasn't just any dog. He had the uncanny ability to sense adventure wherever it lurked. Whether it was digging up old bones in the backyard or chasing squirrels with a speed that defied his stumpy legs, Charlie was always up for a challenge. He had a knack for getting into trouble, which made him the perfect companion for a boy like Toby. One sunny afternoon, as Toby and Charlie lounged under their favorite oak tree, Toby began to daydream. "Charlie, what if we went on a real adventure? Like the kind where we discover hidden treasures or find secret tunnels." Charlie cocked his head to one side, as if considering the idea seriously, then let out an enthusiastic bark. And just like that, their adventure began. The next day, Toby rummaged through his grandfather's old attic, searching for anything that might lead them to adventure. Amidst dusty boxes and cobwebbed shelves, he found something extraordinary, a worn, yellowed map rolled up inside an ancient-looking tube. "Look, Charlie," Toby exclaimed, unrolling the map with trembling hands. "It's a treasure map." Charlie sniffed at the map and sneezed, his tail wagging excitedly. Toby could barely contain his excitement. The map was covered in strange symbols and dotted lines that led to an X marked in the middle of what looked like a dense forest. "This is it, Charlie. We're going to find hidden treasure," Toby declared. So, with backpacks full of supplies, mostly snacks, and a sense of excitement tingling in the air, the duo set off on their grand adventure. They followed the map's directions, navigating through the fields, across the stream where Charlie always loved to splash, and into the thick, shadowy woods where sunlight barely broke through the canopy of leaves. As they ventured deeper into the woods, they came across a strange-looking tree with a hollow trunk. Charlie, ever the explorer, stuck his nose into the hollow and started barking wildly. Toby quickly crouched down to see what had caught his friend's attention. Inside the hollow, to their surprise, was an old, dusty chest. Toby's heart raced as he pulled the chest out into the open. With a creak, the lid slowly opened, revealing not gold or jewels, but a pile of socks? Old socks. Toby stared in disbelief. Charlie wagged his tail and grabbed one of the socks, shaking it playfully in his mouth. Toby couldn't help but laugh. "Well, maybe it's not the treasure we expected, but I bet these belong to pirates or something." Just then, a rustling sound came from the bushes behind them. Toby and Charlie froze. Out of the bushes emerged a small, gray squirrel with an acorn in its tiny paws. It stared at Toby and Charlie as if sizing them up, then darted toward the pile of socks and began stuffing them into a nearby hole in the ground. "Hey, those aren't yours," Toby protested, reaching out to grab the socks, but the squirrel was quick, too quick. It zipped back and forth, dodging Toby's every move until it had successfully hidden every last sock. Charlie, thinking it was a game, started chasing the squirrel in circles, barking and wagging his tail furiously. Toby watched in amusement as the squirrel led Charlie on a wild chase around the clearing. Finally, the squirrel darted up a tree, leaving Charlie barking at the base in frustration. Toby shook his head with a chuckle. "Looks like we've been outsmarted by a squirrel, Charlie." The duo decided to leave the squirrel to its sock hoard and continue following the map. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the terrain became more challenging. They climbed over fallen logs, waded through muddy patches, and even had to cross a rickety old bridge that creaked ominously with every step. "Don't worry, Charlie," Toby reassured his friend as they crossed the bridge. "We're almost there. I can feel it." Charlie, however, was more interested in the flock of birds flying overhead, barking at them as if they were the enemy. Finally, they reached a clearing where the map's X was marked. Toby's heart pounded with excitement. "This is it, Charlie. The treasure must be buried here." They both started digging furiously with their hands and paws, dirt flying everywhere. After what felt like hours, their hands hit something solid. Toby's eyes widened as he uncovered a small, wooden box with intricate carvings on the lid. "This has to be it," Toby whispered, brushing the dirt off the box. "The real treasure." He carefully opened the box, and inside, to his amazement, was a small, golden key. "What do you think it opens, Charlie?" Toby asked, holding the key up to the sunlight. Charlie sniffed the key, then sneezed, as if giving his approval. Toby and Charlie examined the golden key with great curiosity. The intricate designs on it suggested that it was ancient, and its golden sheen sparkled in the light. But a key without a lock was just a piece of metal. The next step of their adventure was clear. They had to find what the key opened. As they wandered through the forest, Charlie suddenly stopped and started sniffing the ground. He barked, running ahead of Toby, leading him to a large boulder covered in moss. Toby noticed a small, square hole at the base of the boulder, just the right size for the golden key. "This must be it, Charlie," Toby said, his voice trembling with excitement. He carefully inserted the key into the hole and turned it. With a deep, rumbling noise, the boulder began to shift, revealing a narrow passageway leading down into the earth. Toby hesitated for a moment. The passage was dark and foreboding, but he wasn't about to back down now. "Ready, boy?" Toby asked. Charlie barked and wagged his tail, eager to continue the adventure. With Charlie by his side, Toby descended into the passageway. The air grew cooler, and the light from above slowly faded as they ventured deeper underground. The passage led to a large, circular chamber with walls lined with old, dusty bookshelves and mysterious artifacts. In the center of the chamber stood a tall pedestal with a large, ancient book resting on top of it. The book was bound in dark leather and had strange, glowing symbols on its cover. "This has to be some kind of magic book," Toby whispered in awe. Charlie, less interested in the book and more intrigued by the strange smells in the room, started sniffing around the chamber. Toby reached out and carefully opened the book, revealing pages filled with illustrations of magical creatures, strange potions, and secret spells. "This is incredible, Charlie. We found a real treasure," Toby exclaimed. But as he flipped through the pages, he noticed something odd. The last few pages were blank, except for one line written in a language Toby didn't recognize. "What do you think this means?" Toby wondered aloud, showing the page to Charlie, who promptly sneezed on it. "Thanks for the input," Toby said, laughing as he wiped the page clean. Suddenly, the symbols on the page began to glow, and the blank pages started to fill with words and images, as if an invisible hand was writing them in real time. Toby watched in amazement as the book revealed its secrets. As the pages filled with new information, a low growl echoed through the chamber. Toby's heart skipped a beat as he turned to see a shadowy figure emerging from the darkness. It was a large, ghostly wolf with glowing eyes, its fur shimmering with an eerie light. Charlie immediately placed himself between Toby and the wolf, barking furiously. The wolf, however, seemed unfazed. It stared directly at Toby, as if it could see into his very soul. "Who dares to awaken the Book of Wonders?" the wolf growled in a deep, rumbling voice. Toby swallowed hard. I didn't mean to. We were just following a map, and we found the key and—" The wolf's growl softened into what sounded like a chuckle. "Calm yourself, young one. I am the guardian of the book. Only those with pure hearts and brave spirits can unlock its secrets." Toby let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. "So, we're not in trouble?" The wolf shook its head. "No, but you have been chosen. The Book of Wonders holds ancient knowledge, and it is now your responsibility to protect it." Toby blinked in surprise. "Me? But I'm just a kid. And what about Charlie?" The wolf's gaze shifted to Charlie, who was still growling protectively. "Your bond with your companion is strong. He, too, is chosen. The two of you must work together to guard the book and ensure its power is used for good."